Hey guys, this is BiXX. Welcome to another Mentoring Monday, or I should say, ciao amici. Welcome to beautiful Tuscany, Italy. We are actually just outside of Greve in Chianti. Got a big topic today, so here we go. Do you have any friends or co-workers who are otherwise very talented and pleasant people, but they're often very annoying or abrasive? They have this annoying and abrasive quality. Perhaps you have some qualities in your own personality that might offend others or even hold you back from advancing in your job. I know that I certainly do. When I was younger, I'd often get so focused on achieving positive results that I pushed people to get the job done. I often did not give praise and appreciation because personally, I did not need it. I was just results driven. Imagine how much better results I could have achieved if I'd been more self-aware, more aware of the consequences of my actions. What kind of results could I have achieved had I built trust with people first and had given them praise and inspiration when they worked hard? I've just given an example of the importance of self-awareness. And now that I'm in the music industry and I'm away from my previous business experiences, I'm more aware of my weaknesses and my personality flaws that I had during my business career. Sort of like I step outside of myself. I can look back and better understand objectively the consequences of my actions. I am much more self-aware now. Let me give you another example, which is I think we can all experience. Have you ever been on an airplane and you notice the line had stopped in the aisle and the whole plane's backing up, and then you look ahead and you see someone that's not prepared to put their bag overhead or put their bag under their seat, and they just stand in the aisle and try to figure it out while they're backing up the whole plane? That's definitely lack of self-awareness. Another example would be, when that line's backed up and you're on an aisle seat and that person that's stopped in the aisle next to you has a big backpack on, and they turn sideways and they bang you in the head with their backpack. They're not aware that of the size of the backpack and how it hits people when they turn. Definitely a lack of self-awareness. So these are some examples of self-awareness, which is the topic of today's topic. So what is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the ability to see yourself clearly and objectively through reflection and introspection. While it's impossible to achieve total objectivity about oneself, there are various degrees of self-awareness. It exists on a spectrum. It's up to us to figure out what aspects of our personality do we need to be most self-aware. Generally, the flaws that we have that hold us back the most in our job or in our personal relationships, those are what we need to focus on and learn to be the most self-aware. I would like to first talk about the benefits of self-awareness. So here's 4 proven benefits. 1, it can make us more proactive compared to being reactive. How many people do we know that are just totally reactive? It can boost our own acceptance, accepting our flaws, and encourage self-improvement, like a growth mindset. 2, self-awareness allows us to see things from a different perspective, the different perspective of others. Practice self-control, work creatively and productively, and experience pride in ourselves, in our work, as well as general self-esteem. 3, it can lead to better decision-making. That's important. 4, it can make us better at our jobs, better communicators in the workplace, and enhance our self-confidence and job-related well-being. Being aware of your behavior at work and how it affects others is critically important. Have you ever been fired or given a bad review and you're totally shocked? It happens. You might have a self-awareness problem. One of my life principles that I live by is make a difference. So where'd this come from? Part of it stems, again, that during a time in my life, I focused much too hard on the results and not in appreciating and encouraging people doing the work. I've learned how to become aware of this flaw in my personality. Now that I'm more self-aware, I find it very enjoyable and satisfying to give people encouragement, or as I call it, to catch them doing something good. This more self-aware approach gives me great satisfaction and much better results. Another example of self-awareness is I learned that I'm a creative and visionary type person. I tend to think all over the place about new ideas and new strategies. I do the what if game. So to balance this out, I've built a team of mentors around me who I think are more like strategic thinkers. They help me stick to a plan rather than me chasing whatever sparkles. This self-awareness has helped me live by a set of principles rather than react to my own emotions and thoughts of the moment. So how do my ideas fit my life principles? This helps me stay on course. Okay, I'll finish this topic by offering 5 ways to create self-awareness. Number 1 is create space and time. Very important to connect with yourself daily. Avoid these digital distractions, you know what they are. Make some time alone. This is when you look back on the day or the week. When there's a conflict, ask yourself, did my reaction help or hurt the situation? By me accepting accountability, how could I react differently in the future to help the situation? What did I learn from it? Don't pass the blame, own it. Practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your inner state as it arises. Sort of feel what you're going through. Mindfulness refers to being in the moment and paying attention to yourself rather than getting lost in a thought, thinking about the future, or daydreaming. Number 3, journal your awareness. Process your thoughts through writing. This process allows you to identify, clarify, and accept your thoughts and your feelings. It helps you discover what you want and what you don't want, what you value and what works for you. It can also help you find out, like I said before, what you don't like doing and what is important to you and what doesn't work for you. Number 4, practice listening. Pay attention to the speaker. Observe emotions and body language. You ever seen some people when you're talking to them, they just have really bad body language? What's that telling you? Don't judge or evaluate. You ever get judged? Happens all the time. The degree to which you become a great listener, you'll hear or not hear golden nuggets of information to help you. Information that you may need to hear. Number 5, ask for feedback to gain a different perspective. How many times do I see producers put their tracks on social media and what do you think? And all they're really asking for is someone to tell them they love the track, which they really need to hear feedback on how to improve the track. So asking for feedback to get a different perspective is very important. For example, my wife and I are very different. I'm results driven, as I mentioned before. She's compassion driven with a very high degree of empathy. We used to work together. Back then and to this day, she tells me when I'm often too hard on somebody or if I didn't handle a situation in the way that she felt I should handle it. Maybe give me a better perspective. That I need to be a better listener and give that person more encouragement, not be so hard on them. And of course, be more patient. This really helps me become a much more effective communicator and a much better leader. It's so important to get the opinion of others who you admire and respect. And to the contrary, when someone doesn't know you and you don't really respect and admire them and they give you this negative criticism or they judge you or negative comments on social media, don't pay attention to them. Only the people that you admire and respect and ask for advice. So I hope you enjoyed this topic of self-awareness. Can you find some qualities within yourself in which you need to become more self-aware? I bet the answer is yes. So I'll see you again in 2 weeks. This is BiXX signing off. Remember, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Ciao from Tuscany.